The air was thick with the scent of detergent and the hum of dryers, but that Saturday morning, the quiet of our local laundromat shattered like glass. I never expected to see blood on the tiles or to become the man who'd make a neighborhood tyrant pay. My name's Tom Harding, a father who'd always kept the peace until she crossed a line no one should cross. This is the story of how I fought back, how a community woke up, and how justice spun in a steel drum. It was just past 7 a.m. when I pulled into the gravel lot behind Suds and Spin, the laundromat tucked between a diner and a gas station in our suburban Ohio town. The sky was gray, the kind of overcast that makes you feel the world's holding its breath. My son, Ethan, 11 years old and all elbows and knees, sat beside me, clutching a laundry bag. He's a quiet kid, always wearing his oversized hoodie like a shield. Every Saturday, we'd come here same time, same machine. It was our routine, a slice of normal in a world that often felt anything but. The bell above the door jingled as we stepped inside. The warmth of the place wrapped around us, familiar as an old coat. The clerk, an older guy named Frank, gave us a nod. A woman folding sheets in the corner smiled at Ethan. This was our safe haven, where nothing ever happened beyond the clink of quarters and the whir of machines. Ethan dropped our bag by our usual washer and started sorting clothes, darks, lights, towels with the care of a kid who finds comfort in order. I grabbed a Coke from the vending machine and leaned against the counter, letting the morning settle. Then the door slammed open, the bell choking on its jingle. A voice sliced through the hum like a knife. "Where's the manager? This is a disgrace." I didn't need to look to know who it was. Margaret Voss, president of the Pine Grove HOA, a woman who ruled our neighborhood like a dictator in heels. She terrorized us before, once over a non-compliant mailbox, another time when she fined a neighbor for a lawn that wasn't green enough. Her voice was shrill, coated in entitlement, and it made Ethan freeze mid-sort, his hands trembling over a pile of shirts. I whispered, "Keep going, buddy. We'll be out soon." But I was wrong. Margaret stormed in, her heels stabbing the linoleum, clutching a cream-colored blouse like it was a national treasure. "This is wrinkled." She snapped at the manager, a young guy named Jake who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Do I look like someone who wears wrinkles?" Her perfume, sharp and suffocating, filled the room. She was dressed like she'd stepped out of a catalog-tailored skirt, gold earrings, sunglasses perched on her dyed blonde hair despite the dim lights. She didn't look rich. She looked like she wanted everyone to think she was. Ethan, still sorting, accidentally knocked a shirt onto the floor near a row of hanging clothes, including Margaret's blouse. He bent to pick it up, careful not to touch anything else. But Margaret's eyes locked on him like a hawk. "Hey!" she barked, the whole room jumping. "Did you touch my clothes?" Ethan stumbled back, shaking his head. "No, ma'am, I didn't." "Don't lie to me, you little brat," she snapped, her voice drowning out the machines. "Your kind always lies." Those words hit me like a punch. "Your kind." I stood, my Coke condensing in my grip. Margaret turned to the room, playing to her audience. First, they move into our neighborhood. Now they're pawing our clothes. This is a health hazard. No one spoke. Even the dryers seemed to hush. And that's when I knew she wouldn't stop, not with words, not with reason. Ethan backed away, hands raised, his lip quivering. Margaret closed the gap in 2 strides. "Don't walk away from me, you disrespectful little rat." I moved fast, instincts overriding thought. "Back off," I growled. She spun on me. "Are you his father?" "Yes," I said, my voice low and tight. "Then teach him not to ruin people's property like some stray dog." That was it. Something snapped. I don't remember choosing to act, but I'll never forget her hand. It shot out, grabbed Ethan's hoodie, and yanked him forward. Then crack. She slammed his face into the glass door of an industrial dryer. The sound was brutal, bone against steel, followed by a gasp. Blood smeared the glass, dripping onto the chrome handle. Ethan crumpled, clutching his nose, too shocked to cry. Margaret stood there, panting. "That's what happens when you mess with me," she spat. "Someone needs to teach these kids a lesson." Time slowed. My Coke can hit the floor, rolling beside Ethan's spilled laundry. "You touched my kid," I said, my voice shaking. "You made him bleed." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. He'll live. Unlike my blouse." I grabbed her wrist, hard. The room exhaled. Margaret's smirk faded when she saw my eyes. "Let go," she hissed. I didn't. "You hit my son," I said, rage swallowing fear. "You slammed his head into a machine, and you think I'll let that go?" Her lip curled. "Don't be dramatic. I barely touched him. These kids bruise if you breathe on them." Wrong answer. I released her wrist, only to grab her blouse and shove her back. She stumbled into a folding table, knocking over a basket of towels. "Assault!" she shrieked. "Call security." "No security here," I said. "Just me." She scrambled up, straightening her skirt like she still had control. "Touch me again, and I swear." I didn't wait. On the counter, an iron glowed hot, steam hissing. I grabbed it. Margaret's eyes widened. "You wouldn't." I stepped closer, iron in hand. "You want to teach kids lessons? Let's see how you learn." She backed away, but I was faster. I grabbed her shoulder, slammed her face down onto the ironing table, and tilted the iron. Steam blasted her cheek. Her makeup melted, skin blistering red. She screamed a raw, desperate sound that shook the room. I didn't press the iron down. The steam was enough, her humiliation complete. "You see this place?" I shouted. "It's where families clean their lives, not where monsters spill blood." I let her go. Margaret collapsed, mascara streaking, hair plastered to her face. She looked up, stunned, like she couldn't believe someone fought back. The room was silent, onlookers frozen. The scent of scorched skin mixed with her perfume. "You're crazy," she spat, crawling backward. "No," I said. "I'm a father." Behind me, the dryer rumbled, its door still open. An idea clicked clean, poetic. "You like throwing people into machines," I said. "Let's see how you like it." She shrieked. "Don't touch me. I'll sue." But I grabbed her arm, dragged her across the floor, and shoved her into the dryer. She kicked, screamed, but I slammed the door shut. The room gasped. I hit the green button. The drum spun no heat, just motion. Clunk. Whump. Margaret's screams turned to howls as her shoes slammed the steel. One heel flew out, landing beside me. "You've humiliated my son," I shouted. "Now you know what it's like to be small." After one cycle, I stopped the machine. Margaret tumbled out, gasping, her blouse twisted, hair tangled, one earring gone. She lay there, silent, broken. When I turned, half the laundromat had their phones out, recording. "Is that the HOA lady?" someone whispered. "Yeah, the one who fined me for my Christmas lights," another said. Stories poured out. Margaret's tyranny had scarred everyone. She pushed herself up, blinking through tears. "Stop filming," she croaked. "You didn't care when you hurt my kid." I snapped. A teenage girl stepped forward. "I got it all," she said, showing me her phone. The footage was clear. Margaret's rant, the assault, her downfall. "Send it to everyone," I said. "HOA, news, anyone." Margaret sank to her knees. "You can't ruin me," she whispered. I crouched down. "You did this to yourself. You hurt the one thing I love most. This is just the start." I walked away, leaving her on the floor. Ethan waited by the door, tissues pressed to his nose. He took my hand, and we left. By noon, the video had exploded online. 10,000 views, then 50,000. Comments flooded in. "That's the HOA president who banned my kid's lemonade stand. She fined my dad for his flagpole. The HOA called an emergency meeting." I stood outside the clubhouse, uninvited but present. Through the windows, I saw the video play on a projector. Voices rose, then fell silent. Margaret limped out, bandaged and furious, followed by board members. One held a resignation letter. "You think you've won?" she hissed at me. "I'll sue for assault, defamation." I cut her off. "And I've got footage of you attacking a child. What's your counterclaim?" She froze. A board member stepped forward. "Margaret Voss, you're removed as HOA president, effective immediately, and banned from community activities for abusive conduct." She trembled, speechless. Her letter fluttered to the ground as she limped away, alone. A week later, I drove past Suds and Spin and saw her, Margaret, in an orange vest, picking up trash by the road. Her nails were clipped, her face bare, her arrogance gone. Two officers watched from a county van. I stepped out. "Poetic, isn't it?" I said. "The woman who fined us for garbage can's now cleaning garbage." She flinched, but said nothing. An officer nodded. 90 hours, court ordered. Assault and disruption. No plea deal. I looked at her. "You said sorry." The dryer didn't accept it. I walked away. That night, rain fell, washing the dust from our street. Ethan slept soundly, no longer flinching at closing doors. The story hit local news. HOA president ousted after laundromat assault. Some called me a hero, others reckless. But I didn't care. I saw my son's blood, heard his skull hit steel. I didn't go too far, he went far enough. The next morning, Ethan joined me on the porch. "Will she hurt anyone else?" he asked. "Not anymore," I said. He paused. "Did we win?" I thought of the bruises, the fear, then Margaret in her vest, picking up trash. We didn't win, I said. We stood up. That's better. He smiled, the first real smile since that day. This isn't about revenge. It's about drawing a line. Margaret wasn't the threat, our silence was. When it broke, the echo shook our town. We all have our Margaret's bullies who thrive on fear. The question isn't if they'll strike, but what you'll do when they do. I stood up because Ethan needed to know the world could be just, even if it meant getting my hands dirty. What do you think? Was I right to fight back, or did I cross a line? Have you ever faced a bully who pushed you too far? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about violence, injustice, and when enough is enough. Your voice matters. Stand up, speak out, and let's break the silence together.